University. One of the most important and memorable time periods for any young adult, where they undergo a metamorphosis transitioning from a bratty high school kid to an educated scholar who will lead society further towards progress. However, not in the Balkans. While in the West, university days are fondly looked back upon as a time of experiencing new things, preparing for your future dream job, meeting lifelong friends, going to fun parties and bittersweet romances, the university experience in the Balkans was much different and an extremely stressful experience, which for almost every single student manifested into a severe caffeine and nicotine addiction and most likely explains the discrepancy of life expectancy in Europe. From the get-go, being able to even attend university was a battle. Unless your parents were loaded or had a secret stash of generational gold hidden in the attic from the commies, you usually had to bust your ass studying to be at the very top of the university entrance exam. Depending on the university and your major of choice, you'd be allowed to get a free ride to university if you scored in the top 20 to 40 spots. And if you didn't, you'd have to pay several thousands of euros per year. So each year, every fresh high school graduate would spend the majority of their last semester and summer vacation at home becoming one with the chair, as they'd spend hundreds of hours studying bullshit like combinatorics, goddamn differential equations, and or stupid ass bio and inorganic chemistry, while watching all of their peers go and enjoy their life, while you'd be stuck looking at these godforsaken equations. And after months of restless studying, you'd finally go and take the most important exam of your life, only to barely be under the passing line because the entirety of the country is also broke, and their only chance to work a job that's not the local gas station is to be on the very top of the entrance exam result list as well. So then, you'd be forced to either go and take a different entrance exam for a less popular major you don't want to study, or spend a year prepping for next year's entrance exam. Now, even if you pass with the score at the very top, you're still not safe. To keep your sweet government-subsidized education, throughout your enrollment at university you must continue having a GPA in the top percentile. Otherwise, you'll have to pay for your tuition if you drop below the GPA minimum by the end of the year. Nevertheless, somehow you'd make it to uni, with blood, sweat and tears. And usually you'd move away from your parents into either the capital of your country or the second largest city with an inferiority complex that thinks it's better than the capital, but it really isn't. But instead of moving to a new cozy apartment like you've seen in all those Hollywood movies, instead your new home will be a decrepit 15-meter square concrete box in the far reaches of your city, built in a commie block that hasn't been renovated since 1954, and it already has pre-existing roommates. But don't worry, they're chill, and with a little bit of patience, you will have learned how to make them steal you a beer from the neighbor. For the next 5 to 6 years, you will call this place your home, and you will sustain yourself off of nothing but Malaysian ramen noodles, whatever the bakery downstairs has on sale, which is usually 2-day-old bread and a half-eaten student sandwich, and the frozen food your parents send you in Tupperware containers that has been in the back of the freezer for longer than you have been walking this earth every other weekend. However, when you're not at home teaching cockroaches tricks, you will be in class. And let me tell you, it's one of the worst things on earth. Unlike universities in the West, who personify progress and scientific advancement, Balkan universities embody the polar opposite. The classes are usually taught by professors whose date of birth was sometime in the Mesozoic, and their mindset is still with Comrade Tito, even though Tito has been long digested by the worms 6 feet in the ground. As such, their teaching methods are also from a bygone era where Levi's jeans meant your parents were filthy rich, and not that your mom had the rest of the day off and decided to spend it at H&M. So a lot of the time the curriculum would be practically unchanged since the 70s. What's even worse was the main way you'd study was basically memorizing every single word from either your textbook that's seen better days, or the words from your teacher's mouth, and then regurgitating that back to your fossil of a professor just as he had to do to his own professor back in the Jurassic. Of course, if you deviated by just one single word, or God forbid used critical thinking and voiced the material in your own words, you'd fail because alongside lust, gluttony and greed, phrasing things yourself during an oral exam is a cardinal sin when it comes to Balkan academia. Sometimes, even if you'd memorize the entire book and regurgitate the slop your professor wanted to hear, he'd still fail you. Because for some reasons, professors in the Balkan think it's a flex to have a high number of failing students in their class. One time in my statistics class, the professor was telling us a story about how she had several of her colleagues go and teach in the US. The Serbian professor then bragged how they're such tough professors because very few people pass their classes, and contrary to the praise and adoration they expected from their American colleagues, they were just dumbfounded and criticized them instead for being bad professors. Rightfully so, if you ask me. And when I tell you they will fail you for no reason just to pump their egos, I'm not exaggerating to be like, look how quirky the Balkans are. One of my friends from Novi Sad once spent several weeks studying for his exam. He pulled questions from a hat, which is a common way of getting questions for an oral exam, answered all of them correctly, and the professor still failed him because the questions he pulled out were too easy for him. So the least you could say was that dealing with the professors was frustrating. What sucked even more about failing an exam was that shit had consequences on your own pocket. Now, I don't know for the rest of the Balkans, but in Serbia, if you go to a public university, you have to pay an exam fee whenever you wish to take an exam. Now, this fee can range from major to major and can be smaller or larger depending on the amount of times you took the same exam. But nonetheless, you still had to pay to take the exam at a university you already paid tuition to attend. So, of course, if a professor pulled some egomaniac bullshit and failed you just because he didn't like what his bitch of a wife made him for lunch that day, you lost your money for nothing, and then you'll be forced to pay again next time you have to take the same exam. However, even as annoying classes and exams were known to be, the best part of going to classes was hanging out with people you'd meet there. I don't know what it is, perhaps it's the shared misery or the mutual camaraderie that is garnered from failing the same classes for the billionth time this semester. But it seems that your lifelong friends are met during your university days. Now, unlike in Hollywood movies set in the sunshine-rich beaches of California where college kids go and hang out at the mall during the day and then party like wild animals, throwing lavish frat parties during the night, in the Balkans things are much different. During the day, if you're not in class, you're probably at home studying for hours on end, single-handedly funding the lo-fi girl's existence. However, as soon as the sun goes down, you and all your study-induced zombies of friends come out of your holes in the wall and head to the dreaded student park, where you all pull as much meager cash you have left from the gibs your parents gave you when they stopped by earlier in the month to drop off your food for the month and buy 2-liter beer bottles and whatever hard liquor is the cheapest and will give you cirrhosis after 2 shots, and spend the night away drinking out in public and making a fool of yourselves. Of course, considering the huge amounts of stress everyone is going through on a daily basis as a student, all of your university friends are colleagues. However, as everyone's broke, all the students would freeload off of one guy that has a part-time job and can afford cigarettes. Also, if you're that guy at this point in your life, there's a good chance you'll ditch the packed stuff and start rolling your own cigs because it's way cheaper and you have a flock of hungry chicks to feed. And so, for the next 4 to 8 years, or how many ever it takes you to finish your bachelor's, or your parents to get fed up with supporting a 20-something-year-old underachiever alcoholic majoring in some sort of IT or engineering, this will be your life at university in the Balkans. A truly stress-filled, miserable existence filled with state-sanctioned bullshit. But nevertheless, it was the best 4 to 8 years of your life, and you missed them dearly. Anyways, what's been your experience at any university in the Balkans? What did you major in? Did any of this relate to you or your experience? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you liked it. And if you really liked it, become a member like these wonderful people. Or check out my merch at theironicsshop.com. My name is Janos, and you've watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Hey, why